Hi guys, do you even want to spend your entire life working under someone and doing something that you're really not interested in? Don't you want to be your own boss? Of course we do, right? So today I invited a founder of a successful company and he will give us some ideas on how to start a successful company and run it and how to overcome the challenges that we face. So if you're interested, please stay by the end of this video and I'm sure you'll get something out of it. Also guys, if you're right now looking for an internship that you can do from home, I think Collgedunia is a great place. They are currently hiring many international students from different parts of the world. So if you're looking to get some work experience and also a few bucks online, definitely check them out because why not? And if you're interested, I'll put the details down in the description below. And if you're applying, you can put the referral ID as sijanpoudel@cd.com and I'm sure they'll get back to you. Okay guys, so today I have Rahul with me. Rahul is a founder of two companies called MyCuteOffice and Qpeka. So Rahul, could you please go over what those companies are about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Sujin. Thanks for having me on this interview.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm Rahul from India. I have two companies. So my first startup, which is Qpeka, it is a online reader and the publishing platform where you can publish your books or small stories or poems, and readers will get to read them. And the business model is you don't have to pay for the entire book. You pay for the only number of pages that you read. So you have to have a wallet, and from the wallet it will start deducting money for the number of pages that you have read. So this kind of saves the cost, because then you don't have to pay for the entire book when you don't even know whether you will like that book or not. So you will be, if from the book you have just read 10 pages and you decide, okay, you don't like that book, you don't want to read it, you can just discontinue and it will only deduct for those 10 pages. You don't have to pay for the entire book. So that's the business model over there. We started this Qpeka in 2012. We continued working on it. It was having a little bit of research over there to track each and every page, and then make sure that we are able to deduct the money. So we had to put around 6 to 7 months of research and make sure that we are able to put some markers into the books and get the books digitized. Now, while working on Qpeka, we were looking for our own office, and that's where we came up with the idea for MyCuteOffice, where instead of you getting the whole new office, furnishing it, why not to share it with somebody who already has it furnished and part of it is always lying empty. So that's where concept for MyCuteOffice started. And we initiated this process with our own office itself. So where we got our office and few of the seats were empty, so we gave it out on a flexi rent, where people will have to only pay for the one desk that they are using. And that's how the concept of MyCuteOffice started. And then slowly it grew as the co-working spaces started to increase. And now we cater to shared office spaces, co-working spaces, even full office spaces. So whether you are looking for a seat or cabin or let's say 100 seats, we are able to cater to everything. And you can go for one day, few hours, or even a week or a month, or maybe 1 or 2 years contract. So it's up to you. And it's everything is plug and play offices, similar to what you see in co-working spaces.
Okay, so how far have you expanded in India? Is it just in India right now, or it's also?
Yes, our reach is in. No, it's right now. It's only in India. So we have our own co-working chain in Mumbai, and we have few partner spaces in other metro cities like Kolkata, Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad. Even some tier 2 cities like Nashik and Pune, we have our co-working space partner as well as shared office space partners who provide co-working spaces as well as shared offices to our customers via our channel.
Okay. That's really cool. How like when you first started a company, how did you come up with the idea? What made you feel like this is it?
So for Qpeka, it was more of a like I was an avid reader. So and my co-founder Abhishek, he is also an avid reader. So we both like kind of like made together through a hackers club because being a techie, I was a part of the hackers club here in Mumbai. And he kind of visited that hackers club because he already had a lot of ideas and he wanted somebody to help him out as he's a non-tech background person. So that's where we got to know each other. Then we realized we have this common habit of reading a lot, and then that's how we came together and we decided to develop something which will help others, because I myself have found a lot of time that I buy a book and then I read it, and within first few chapters or first few pages itself I decide not to read it further because I don't like it, or maybe at that time I'm not capable enough to understand what's there in that book. So then I sometimes I feel like I wasted my money over there. So I wanted no, other peoples to not have that kind of experience. So that's where we started working on Qpeka. And MyCuteOffice, it is more of a like just because we needed office for a Qpeka and we don't wanted to spend like 2 to 3 lakhs of rupees. We wanted something where we can just within few thousand bucks we should be able to get the office. That's where the concept of MyCuteOffice started. But Qpeka couldn't pick up because at that time it was really early for people to come online and read. Now, especially because of the COVID, people have moved on to online platforms for reading.
Yeah.
Even Kindle was finding it difficult to like acquire larger audience before 2019. After 2019, a lot of people like started to move on to Kindle apps as well as the Kindle devices. So similar thing happened with Qpeka. Then slowly when we shifted to MyCuteOffice, we completely focused on MyCuteOffice. We got angel funding into MyCuteOffice, and then we started to expand. So our focus has completely now moved on to the MyCuteOffice, and we left Qpeka completely.
Okay. So when you're running a company, is there something like do you have to invest some amount in it for it to keep running? So is that why?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you need to, because there is a operational cost involved, there is a marketing cost involved, as well as if you have a tech product, then mostly you will be going for some cloud services like AWS or Azure, right? So you have a cost over there. If you have a domain, you will have your own email addresses, right? Come on that domain. So that cost is also involved. So all this cost is involved. So you will have to put some money from your own pocket initially.
Do you have some estimate about how much you need to have to start?
To start, actually, it depends. Places to places, things will differ. It also depends on the uh, product that you are building or the company that you are starting into.
Yeah.
So it depends on that. But if it's a pure tech product, the you have to make sure that at least you will have 18 months of runway with you, so that your household expenses will be taken care. So that's where you will have to then now country to country registration, company registration cost and everything differs. So over here in India, we have to pay, if you have to register a private limited company, we have to have at least 1 lakh rupees in reserve, which we have to show it in our bank accounts. Then only we can start a private limited company and have company's bank account. So similarly, each country has its own some restrictions on when you are starting a company. But when you're working on a product, my advice will be to not directly get into registering the company. First, work on your product, get few customers, let them pay. You can have they pay you to your personal account, and then once you see okay, you are now earning a good amount of money, then register a company and start it. Don't even think about the investment initially if it's pure tech product. If it requires some operational cost involved, try to put it from your own pocket or maybe get from the family or friends, but do not go for a funding immediately.
Definitely. And so you talk about customers. How did you guys reach out to the customers? How did you reach out to people? about your?
So in case of MyCuteOffice, it was more of a like we started with our own network. Since because of Qpeka, we were already known in startup community over here in India. So people knew us. So we started with our own network itself, where we started to publicize about MyCuteOffice, and all the startup people were looking for the office spaces. And at that time, co-working spaces were not that much available here in India. So it was easy for us to like get into the market. It's like when I launched my website, in the 2 days we got a customer, and the customer paid us immediately because we could give the office to the customer immediately. In case of Qpeka, it was a little bit difficult. We actually started with Facebook page, then we did little bit online marketing. Then in Mumbai, we had to search for small groups where people are meeting physically once in a month or twice a month. So there were few poetry groups, few short story groups where we had to physically go visit and then market about us. So in case of Qpeka, there were a lot of challenges. For MyCuteOffice, we already had a network, so we actually took help from that network itself. And then once people got to know about us in our network, they started to talk about us and they actually marketed us.
Okay,
So it's more of like a network effect.
I see. That's interesting. And was there any challenges you faced while running the company, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Yes, so there will be a lot of challenges when you start a company, especially when you are the first generation entrepreneur. Because over there you may not get a mentorship at the right time, so there will be a lot of mistakes that you will be doing. We did a lot of mistakes where we actually unnecessarily spent a lot of money into marketing as well as into the operationals, which were not like that much fruitful. Like I can give you an example. Like for MyCuteOffice, we decided to have small teacups which we can distribute among the tea vendors, and they will actually use those teacups for giving the tea to the customers. That way we'll get more clients. We thought that when we actually spent a lot of money and distributed in Mumbai city all those teacups, and we got hardly 1 or 2% leads. Conversion was even lesser than that. And so that was the bigger mistake, because we spent a lot of money and time as well, because we were traveling places to distribute those teacups free of cost to the tea vendors. So there you will need a mentorship. So once we started to look around, we found few people who could guide us into marketing, operations, as well as into the technology. Then we got realized the mistakes that we made and how we should approach. So you actually need a mentorship when you start having your own business. So when you start your business, first thing you look for is get some mentor who has already done similar thing.
Yeah, that's definitely good advice. Next are some questions from my friend. I also ask my friends if they have any questions for you. So one of my friends, Sevani Sarma, asks, what kind of work do you do now as a founder of a company?
So as a founder of a company, I still spend my around 30 to 40% of the time into technology, writing code. That still I do. Rest of the time I'm involved into operations as well as a marketing. So I look after how things are going into operations and marketing. I'm not physically involved in day-to-day tasks. I just get a feedback from the team who is into operations as well as team who is into marketing, so that I can develop or I can get the solution developed from my tech team for helping operations as well as marketing team. So it's more of a like overlooking all the departments and getting to know how things are moving. And if anywhere I can help or I can get help from some outsider, I get myself involved over there.
So how much in average do you spend every day doing for something for a company or writing code?
Writing code, it's again like it's not on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
It's like maybe a few 1 or 2 hours a day, that too if required. It's most of the time like within a month I can say like 30 to 40%, but not every day I'm writing code.
Okay.
But I'm always thinking about how can I improve my system so that the system will help my team. My focus is to help my team first, because if I'm able to take care of the team will take care of the customers. That's what my belief, and that's what my mentors have taught me. So the technology is to support my team. That's how we are growing.
Okay. How are the revenues like for you?
So before COVID, revenues were really good. Like we were into profits and we were thinking of expanding outside of the Mumbai into other metro cities as well. But because of the COVID, this co-working and shared office spaces have declined completely. Now it has again started. So we are still like not there yet where we were before COVID. So it will take another year for us to again recover that impact.
Yeah, definitely the corona situation has
It has completely destroyed all the businesses, especially into the real estate.
And the next question is my friend Kusijen. She asks, how do you plan to grow in future and expand to other states? So this can be after coronavirus.
So after the coronavirus, right now our focus is more towards getting to know why customers will join again co-working spaces and shared office spaces, and then improving our platform as well as improving our services to make sure that the customers are comfortable using the co-working spaces and the shared office spaces. Now, we do not want to get into more co-working spaces, having our own co-working brands now, which was the thought before Corona. Now it's more of a like enabling the existing co-working spaces in such a way that they will be able to cater to the more customers, and we will be helping those co-working spaces first. And maybe after 1 or 2 years, we might think about like growing outside of the India.
Okay. And do you have any advice for people who want to do startup and found a company, or students who want to found a company?
Okay, so it depends on like if you are a student and you are still pursuing your education, you can implement your own ideas, get it into the market, see how it's growing. There are a lot of like Facebook, Instagram. These are the examples where from the college itself these things started, right? So and since you are in college, you do not have your own expenses much. It's more of a like your parents are taking care of all your expenses, right, with the pocket money. So you can work on the ideas that you have, get them into the market. Don't think about like registering a company or anything. Get some mentor, whether it's from your placement cell or maybe from some startup community, and grow your product first. And in today's world, AWS or Azure, Google App Engine, all these things are giving a lot of credits for students as well as the professionals to actually launch their product free of cost. So mostly like first year will be a free of cost for you. So there won't be any cost involved. So you can always like register your product, register yourself as a student over the cloud service providers, and they will give you credits. So that way it will help you. So you will save your cost as well. In case of professionals, it will be a little bit difficult. You will have to think through when you are launching your product, because if you are going to leave your job and then start your company, you need to make sure that you have at least 18 to 20 months of runway for your personal expenses, not for the company, for the because for next 1 year there won't be any income or there won't be any salary for you, and that is at least for 1 year. We saw it like in case of Qpeka, for around 2 years there was no income for us, so we were just surviving on our savings. So that will be there. That, and obviously you will learn a lot. If you still need money, you can do some consultation work. Now online training is also one of the things that you can adopt, where you can spend maybe daily 2 to 3 hours to get some money for your own personal expenses. So that way you can continue. And for the product, just get the product live, let it be a really minimum viable product. Even if it crashes sometimes in a day, that's okay. Just be available for your customers, resolve their queries, get to know your customers, what they really want. Most of the time that ideas that we have are more of a like we come up with the idea and then we look for, okay, which kind of solution this idea can solve. That is not a good product to have. Create a product which will actually solve a problem. So look for the problems that people have and then see how you can solve it with the technology. Solve that problem. Then even if it's a shitty product, doesn't matter. people will pay you for it because it's solving their problem.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, and don't think about only social media or maybe something like Facebook or LinkedIn products.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. There are already a lot of them. Think about the actual problems in people's life and whether can you solve those problems. Even if it is able to, you are able to solve like 0.1% people's problems, it's more than enough for you to make a business out of it. Because 0.1 out of 7 billion people is a huge number.
Yeah.
Even if they pay you, it's more than enough for you to spend your entire life on that product.
Yeah, that's a good advice. Yeah, and thank you, Rahul, for
Welcome.
a good advice. Thank you for being here today and taking my interview. Yeah.
Welcome, and thanks for having me over here.
Is there anything that you want to say at the end?
I would suggest everybody's 1 second. Yeah. So I would suggest everyone to, if you are graduating, spend some time looking around yourself, whether it's in university or maybe in your locality. Look around for the problems that people have and see if you can solve them. It need not be a tech product. I mean, the a product which you can just write code and get it live. It might be some physical thing that you need to do. Solve those problems. You will learn a lot rather than just doing some small assignments when they are given to you by your teachers. This is going to give you the experience that will help you out throughout the life. And start volunteering yourself in any kind of activity that interests you. It need not be only some kind of a charity event or any NGO work. It might be something that you feel that in your university or in your locality, you see that an issue is there and all the student needs to come together and resolve it. Start volunteer yourself in these activities. It will give you a lot of information about how to work in a team, and that is really important, whether you are going to work in the future, or I mean in the company, or you are going to start your own company. Team playing is the main important thing which you will learn when you are participating in such kind of events or volunteering yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is this channel about? I mean, is it
it's about the videos I've posted so far is about Nepal development of,
okay,
and about the caste system and why it should go away.
okay.
The next video is about MCC. I don't know if you know about it or not. So
What is MCC?
it's like Millennium Challenge Corporation. That is like an aid provided by you to develop.
Okay.
And I was discussing if it's good for the country or not, if taking some aid from other countries is good for the country or not. I want to make some videos that is gonna help people from Nepal as well to do something, like to know something, education.
Yeah, correct. So for that, I mean, your first thing is you need to talk about Nepal.
Yeah.
What's there in Nepal and what are things happening. So people will start noticing your channel as well as they will start noticing Nepal. And by that time, you will also get an idea about where are the things that you can help with the technology, because you are already into technology. That's why I'm saying that you can help maybe a very small population in Nepal which can get help from your product or your services, and you can start like that.